Hello everybody, it's the Cruppeteer, and I am back again with super gross greasy hair and another Steven Universe vlog. And today's episode is me trying to make my hair actually cooperate with me for 13 minutes. It's just gonna stay like this. Who cares? Today's episode is Room for Ruby, or Room with Ruby, something like that. And in this episode, Steven and Garnet are out on the deck watching the stars when one of them starts hurtling towards Earth. But it's not a star, it's Ruby. More specifically, the naval Ruby from the naval Ruby from the baseball episodes. You know, that storyline with all the rubies. And if you remember, that's the nice, flamboyant, very kind Ruby that seemed like the only one that didn't want to kill Steven, which is nice. And when Steven convinces Garnet that they should give this Ruby a chance because maybe it's reformed itself, maybe now it wants to live life on Earth, then he takes Naval to the barn where they meet up with Lapis and Peridot, and they pretty much just explain how life works on Earth to Naval, because both Lapis and Peridot both had to obviously move in and learn how to, I don't know, live on Earth, so to speak. Or not so to speak, whatever, you know what I mean. They did the same thing that they're trying to teach Ruby to do, so obviously they'd be the best teachers to do it. And it seems that Naval's, catching on pretty quick. What is with my English today? I is not good English. So it's the hair, isn't it? So it turns out that Naval is actually pretty content with her. She loves everything. She's liking the dirt, the carrots, the pumpkins, the water. Pretty much everything is going down pretty quick. And Lapis actually is the one who does not like this. Lapis is unhappy to see this because it took Lapis so long to, learn to accept and love Earth. She thinks it's, I guess, unfair that Ruby learns it a lot quicker than she does. It's a little tingly. I'll get into that. But in the end, Ruby sees that she does understand the beauty of Earth. The beauty that it took Peridot and Lapis so long to find out is actually something that Ruby understands right away, and that's the moment when, all the gems do accept her as somebody who has reformed themselves and understands how gorgeous Earth is. So when Ruby, or when Naval asks where her spaceship is, Steven says that, they actually just keep it right here, and she'd love to give him a test ride. So they do. All the gems, well, being Pumpkin, Peridot and Lapis get in there with Steven and Ruby, and they sort of fly around a little bit, and then Ruby, tricks Steven into pressing a button that pretty much ejects them all from the plane, and now Ruby's pretty much just flying free with her spaceship again, because she was a traitor! That was my stormtrooper thing. This hair is absolutely terrible. I hope that this is the vlog that introduces somebody to my channel, so they just think that I always look like The Weeknd. I don't know. But this is... Oh no. So... I hate everything. So, I actually really did enjoy this episode. Not as much as I enjoyed the new Samurai Jack, but we're not going to talk about it. But this was a very enjoyable episode, to be honest, especially since the last few have been a little flat, as you've probably seen me talk about. I really did enjoy this one. Okay, so this is the thing about Ruby being a traitor, though, and I think I talked about this in the Bismuth episode, is why I didn't enjoy Bismuth as much as everybody else, because I don't know what it is. I've never seen a piece of media that pulls off the villain turned good who eventually turns out to be not changed storyline well. A great example is Epic Mickey 2, which it seems like the most obscure thing I could think of, but I don't even remember a thing about Epic Mickey 2. I just remember that the turnaround, spoiler, the evil doctor, whose name is still the evil doctor, who was evil in the last game, starts out being all good, and he's like, I'm a changed man, and then at the end he's like, no, I'm still evil. It's the most forced, convoluted, stupid thing that I've probably ever seen in one of those, I'm good, now I'm bad, now I'm good storylines and stuff like that. And it was especially in Bismuth. That's the one thing that I really did not like about the Bismuth episode, is that okay, let me give you the explanation, if you didn't see that vlog. The entire episode is two characters doubting that a that Bismuth is good, being Steven and Amethyst, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen it in a while. But the thing is, in the end, when she turns out to be bad, it's not really a twist because the character that we are supposed to relate with the most thinks that she is evil. So how could we possibly latch on to her, how could we possibly perceive her as evil if the character that we live through vicariously in the TV show also believes that she is evil? It's weak, honestly. It's weak. Could I do any better? Could I write a better story? Not in the slightest. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this is a problem that I see a lot with these sort of I'm bad, now I'm good, now I'm bad storylines. Now, this one was not a half-hour special like the Bismuth one was, and this one wasn't as catastrophic. I don't think anybody thought that a little naval Ruby would be joining the Earth Gems in the end. And the thing is that there's no part of this episode that would lead you to believe that Ruby is evil until the end, when, obviously she is evil. And the thing with why this works with the was bad, now good, now bad storyline where Bismuth failed is we didn't know Bismuth before that episode. And you can say, well, you can give her a backstory, but that's still something you learn in that episode. That's not something we learned beforehand. In this one, we know who Navel is because she and her and Eyeball are probably the only ones with distinctive personalities of all the rubies, so to speak, that have been developed and I guess talked about. And that is in the fact that, Navel is the sort of the cutesy, nice, naive one that sort of never, is just a cute little muffin, pretty much. She's a little cinnamon roll. And that's something we could see. We haven't seen her do anything evil that wasn't out of her character, so to speak. And even then, she was probably like the least harmful of all the rubies in the baseball episodes. So seeing her now turn makes sense because that's alright, that makes sense, alright? You had us sort of hooked, so to speak, because we already knew her character as one that wasn't evil, and then when she turns around to be evil, then it makes sense. That's where the Bismuth episode doesn't work. I'm sorry I just ranted about that, but this is what makes this episode probably the best example I've seen in a while of one of those bad, then good, then bad storylines. And I was happy to see that. And that's not what made the episode amazing. I mean, it was part of it, but it was just a very nice episode. I think that Navel is absolutely adorable. Even if I think that the entire thing with Lapis being angry that somebody understands the planet quicker than she did is just really dumb. I don't get that. I did still think that it was nice to see both of them give her a chance right off the bat, because if every character, if Peridot and Lapis were immediately like, there's no way that, this person's good, then this would turn out being another Bismuth thing, because everyone would be doubting her, and that would be, that would be no fun. So I liked to see that. God, this hair is bugging me. But besides that, I think it was a fine episode, probably one of my favorites in a while, to be honest. And I really do think it's probably one of the best examples I've seen, at least in Western animation television shows for a while, even though I can't think of any movie examples off the top of my head. Can you think of any animated movies that do that? That do that lie reveal, or not lie reveal, the good then the bad then good then bad storyline? Tell me in the comments because I can't remember. But besides that, I really, really did like this episode. I hope you guys liked it. I'll see you guys later. Maybe I'll take a shower. Probably. I'm gonna go do that right now. Goodbye. Oh God.